happening? What's happening? It's been a minute. It's like the 5-minute check-in. It's been a minute for me. Ain't a long time. It's like I'm having some connection issues right now. My phone is like flickering. I don't know what that's all about, but I'm here. You got maybe 10 minutes, and then I gotta go. It's been a minute. It's been a minute. How's everybody doing? I'm waiting to see if anybody gonna get on here with me. Been a long time. It's been a long time. Shouldn't have left you. I'm waiting to see if anybody's gonna be on here. Come on. Time's a ticking. Where my brothers and my sisters at? Where my kings and my queens at? Where my guys and my goddesses at? I'm looking at my hand. I went to the store earlier. I was trying to find a lip gloss, and you know how you use the testers, and I was putting them on my hand, so I got like different colors on my hand. I haven't even went in the house yet. It's a beautiful day. It's not as the sky is not as clear as it normally could be. So there are some clouds, but baby, it is 92 degrees. So I hear there's a heat wave that's moving across the country, and it's hot in a lot of places. Very hot. Arizona, I heard, is experiencing like 115-degree weather. That's crazy. Take this out. Maybe if I take the charger out, maybe it's just a short or something in the charger, but the phone kept flickering, like, get light and get dark, so I just take it off. Yeah. Somebody told me, so you always do your videos when you do them in your car. When I'm in a car, that's when I think the most, and that's when I come up with topics the most while I'm driving, especially if it's long distance driving. It gives me time to really clear my head. It's nothing before me but the road, and everything else around me is a blur. And I don't mean that because I'm speeding. Yeah, I mean that because when I'm driving, I'm focused on what is in front of me. And I guess that's a good topic to talk about. They always talk about your rear view mirror and your side view mirrors is to help you see what's around you and what's behind you. So when you decide to make a lane change, or make a turn or something, you're being careful by using your mirrors. But that rear view mirror, it puts me in a perspective of everything being behind you. You know what I'm saying? You done went through some stuff and you done came out on the other side. Now it's behind you. So that rear view mirror is facing the opposite way that you're facing. So you're going forward, and that mirror is just to show you how far you've come. When you're driving, a lot of times if we're not quite sure of how to get where we're going, if it's a long distance drive, we'll turn on our GPS. And it counts down how many miles to go before you get to the next interstate, or wherever you need to go, wherever the next change is. You know what I'm saying? It'll even tell you where the toll is when it's coming up. If you turn the volume on, she'll start talking a lot. And she can be real rude with it. She just jump in there at the most inopportune time. That's how life is. Life can seem pretty rude. Stuff can happen at the most inopportune times, like when you least expect it. Here comes that turn. You're getting thrown for a loop if you're not quite paying attention. When it happens, a lot of times you'll end up going the wrong way. And it's the same way when you're driving, just like in life. If you're not paying attention to when certain indicators are telling you which way to go, you'll end up going the wrong way. And then next thing you know, you got to figure it out and regroup or follow the GPS, because it usually reroutes you. But in life, you can be rerouted. So if you took the wrong path or you went the wrong way and you realize that this is not going to get me where I'm trying to go, you can always reroute and pick a new path, choose a new path. Understand that every decision that you make is a path, a new path for you. So you can have made a decision to go in this direction and everything can seem to be going pretty good, and then life throws you a curve. Now you got to make a new path. You got to go in a different direction. And it may seem like you're never going to reach your goal. You're never going to reach your destination or where you're trying to go. But in actuality, the new path is just a better way or another way to get to where you're trying to go. So it's okay to take that new path. Yeah, are you the type of driver that when you do long distance driving, you know the way and where you're going because you've been that way so many times, and you kind of like to stick to that way because it's real familiar? You know what I'm saying? It's like, I know this way. I've been this way 1,000 times. I can do it in my sleep. I can drive it in my, well, don't sleep and drive, you know. But I can do it, you know, in my sleep. I know the way. And I know about how much time it's going to take to get there. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just going to do it the way I've always done it. You know, this is the path I'm going to take. And, you know, a lot of times you take those paths, especially if it's the same one you go to work, and you run into roadblocks, or, you know, there's an accident on the way, and traffic is backed up, and now you're slowed down, and, you know, your time is ticking, and you're going, I'm not going to make it in time. But if you knew another way to go, or you were shown a different way to go, then you could reroute and, you know, take the shortcut or take another direction and end up where you were trying to go in the first place at the same time, maybe earlier. And sometimes, you know, life is like that. You're trying to take those paths that you've been going. You're trying to go the same route you've been going. You're trying to do the same thing you've been doing. And life changes on you in a heartbeat, in the blink of an eye. And that path that you normally take, suddenly it's not working anymore. It's not getting you where you usually, you know, you've gone before. You're not getting to your destination at the same time or the same point. It's just not working. Something is just not working. And so you're having to reroute your whole life sometimes and take a different path. And it may seem so weird because it's so unfamiliar. You're like, I've never been this way before. I've never done this before. I've never tried this before. You know what I'm saying? Is it going to work out? Is it going to get me to where I'm trying to go? Is it going to have the same results as I was trying to get in the first place? And the answer is yes and no. Yes, it's going to get you the results that you're hoping to have. And no, it may not happen the way you want it to happen. But it'll happen. I said this because sometimes we're fearful of doing things differently than we've always done it or have always been taught. You know, some things is ingrained in us from when we were children. You know, coming up, we learned certain things or certain ways of doing things because we saw our parents do it. You know, a sibling that you may have been under quite a bit, you know, and you guys were real close. You know, you do things a certain way like they used to do it, you know, and it becomes a part of your life, and you don't see no other way of doing it. You never really thought about doing it any differently. You didn't see anything, you know, that needed to change. And you're just like, oh, you know, as they say, if it's not broken, don't try to fix it, right? And then life throws you a curve, and you realize that the way you've been doing things is counterproductive to how you really was trying to live your life. It's not working like it used to work. It's not having the same results as it used to have. It's not putting you in the place where you want to be like it used to. And it's not as satisfying as it used to be. And so you're having to sit back and really take a time out and try to think about what else you can do. Because now you've really got to think, because it's like, I've always done this way. So your mind is not even fixed on another way. It's not. You don't even, it's not even in the back of your head that there is another way or possibly a better way. And so you sit back and you feel stuck, kind of like, what do I do now? What do I do now? And you kind of, and it's frustrating because it's like, this is new territory. This is new territory. It's just like, and then you got to try to trust yourself to come up with a new idea or something different than what you've been doing. And it feels so weird. You feel so out of sorts. You feel like, man, and you get real frustrated. And when you get frustrated, a lot of times you need to be by yourself. You need to kind of keep to yourself. Don't need to do a lot of associating and going around people. That includes family, friends. You kind of pull back some. You know what I'm saying? And sit and think and try to figure it out on your own. And the reason why I say you don't really need to be around a lot of people when you're super frustrated about something that's unfamiliar to you or that's strange to you is because the first thing that's going to happen is because you're frustrated, you're going to take it out on the person closest to you. That's what you're going to do. You may not mean to do that, but that's usually how it happens because you're frustrated. This is so unfamiliar. This is so out of sorts for me. This is just not me. This is not how I've been living my life, how I've been doing things. So I feel really weird, like not myself. And so it can be very frustrating and irritating sometimes. So the first thing you want to do is kind of pull back. You may have to tell some people that's closest to you how you've been feeling. That would be a good thing to do instead of taking it out on them, because they're not going to know what the hell is going on. They're going to think anything because you're not really telling them anything, what's going on with you inside, what you're thinking, what you're feeling. You're not really letting them know. You just, you know what I'm saying? And it's kind of like when you do that, it kind of pushes that person away. And you don't mean to push them away. That wasn't your intention to do that. But that's what's going to happen. And then, you're going to have a hard time trying to, get back into a good space with that person because they're kind of standoffish now because you just let all that out on them. And they're looking like, what did I do, that you just felt like that was okay? And it's not okay. And that's the whole point is what I'm saying. When you feel out of sorts, when things happen to you that are unfamiliar, that feels weird, that feels strange, it's not what you're used to. It takes you out of your habits, because that's what it is. It's habits. You're habitually doing a certain thing a certain way all your life. And you don't really think of it as a habit. It's just your way of life. That's how you look at it. But when you feel like things are not the way it normally has been for you, you don't feel good. You don't feel good inside. You don't, and it's frustrating trying to come up with a better way. The reason I say you need to not be around people is so that you don't negatively affect the person that's closest to you or people that are around you on a regular basis, because they're not going to fully understand unless you talk to them. And I say that to say this. When my kids was coming up and they were little, when I felt out of sorts, I didn't feel myself. I didn't feel good about the day or about certain events that had taken place in my life on a personal level. It had nothing to do with my children, because most of the time, whatever you're feeling, a lot of times, it's not necessarily that somebody did anything to you. It could be a circumstance that happened to you. You know what I'm saying? And it's nobody else's fault, but that person is going to feel like it. But back to what I was saying about my kids. When they were small, and they were coming up and I was feeling like that, I would talk to my kids. I'd gather all three of them together and I would tell them, Mommy's not in a good mood today. Mommy's not feeling herself today. Mommy's, I want you to understand, you didn't do anything wrong. I'm not mad at you. But Mommy needs some space. So give me about an hour to get myself together, and then I'll be okay. So if you don't hear me talking, or if you don't see me for a little bit in the house, if I go back in my room for a little bit to try to woosah, if I do that, Just understand you didn't do anything wrong. And I wanted to reassure my children that they weren't the cause of why I was feeling the way I was feeling. And also so that I didn't take it out on them. I don't want to do that to them. I don't want them to feel bad because I was feeling bad. And as adults, I think we miss that a lot of times because especially when you get a certain age, you start feeling like, well, however I feel is however I feel. You don't like it, you deal with it, and you kind of like feel like at this age or at this point in my life, I deserve to be able to feel like I feel, and I shouldn't have to explain myself, and I shouldn't have to tell you this, and I shouldn't have to, if I'm mad, I'm mad. If I'm upset or whatever, it is what it is. And I used to really hate that phrase. It is what it is, because it leaves so much up in the air. It takes the responsibility off of the adult when they say that it is what it is, because most of the time when you hear it, it comes behind somebody expressing that they don't really care or they don't give a damn how somebody else feel about them acting out of character or being a certain way or thinking a certain way or doing certain things that are negative. Oh, well, deal with it. That's really what you're saying. It is what it is. Very rarely do you hear that behind something positive, So that's what I used to do with my children, and I think as adults we miss that because we feel like we're adults. We can do what we want to do. You can say what you want to say. You can do what you want to do. You can feel how you want to feel. I would encourage most adults, whatever you're feeling, whether it's good or bad, to literally fully feel that emotion. Feel that emotion. Don't deny how you feel, but don't take it out on nobody else. If you're upset about something, okay. If you're happy, okay, that's the best emotion besides love. But if you're happy about something, that you can spread from here to Timbuktu, and it ain't gonna hurt nobody except a hater. But if you're angry or you're upset, you're frustrated, you're sad, you're feeling grief, whatever you're feeling, if it's a negative emotion, fully feel that all the way to your core, to your soul. Fully feel it. Don't deny it. But when you allow yourself to feel those emotions, don't take it out on the next person, especially people that love you. Don't snap. If you feel like you're about to snap, leave. Go in a room. Close the door. But explain what you're doing to the people that are around you on a daily basis. It's good to do that, to keep that relationship intact between your family, your friends, or co-workers, whoever it is that you're around on a daily basis, so that they understand that you're dealing with something and it's not them. Does that make sense? Okay. That's all I had to say. And that just came to me as I was sitting here. So I hope everybody is having a wonderful Saturday, a great weekend. Sometimes they feel so short. These weekends, they come and they go really, really fast. And Monday's here before you know it for us that go to work Monday through Friday. Monday comes quick. I wish we had another weekend day. You got Friday. I don't count Friday because I work on a Friday, so really it's not a day off. But the rest of the part of the day is sort of like a day off because you ain't got to go to work Saturday. So it's Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. But in between Saturday and Sunday, we need another day. So Saturday, Catterday, any day, then Sunday. And then it's a 3-day weekend then. And I think, that'd be great. That's just me, wishful thinking. But have a great day today. And have a great weekend. The rest of it, if you don't have to work, enjoy this weekend. If you have to just go somewhere by yourself, you don't have nobody to go nowhere with, Hop in the car, take a drive, turn your music up. You know what I'm saying? Hop on the freeway instead of taking through the city to go to the store or something like that, or pick the store that's a little further out and then hop on the freeway. Turn on the music, turn it up, and drive. And let everything that is bothering you, that has been bothering you, all the negative thoughts fly out the window with the music as you blasting it. Some of my brothers and maybe some of my sisters, I know y'all got some serious sound systems going on in your car. Turn it all the way up, as long as the police don't stop you. And drive down the highway. Don't do too fast, but I guess I'm just being cautious. But enjoy yourself. And do it on the way back too. And when you get home, you should feel a little bit better. Sing with the music, rap with the music, whatever it is that you're listening to that makes you feel good on the inside. You don't listen to something that feeds into the feeling that you're already feeling. If you're feeling sad, do not listen to a sad song. If you lost somebody, don't listen to something that's going to make you feel sad. If you broke up with somebody, do not listen to a love song, a sad love song. It just depends on what it is, the emotion. Try to do the opposite of the negative emotion that you're feeling. If it's a positive emotion, match it with that music and drive down the road, down the highway, bop your head, whatever you're going to do with your neck, and whatever you do, fellas too, and enjoy yourself. And try to have a great weekend this weekend. I said nothing but good vibes towards you this weekend. Nothing but peace, love, and harmony, and joy. And I hope that everybody has a good day and a good weekend. And we'll talk soon. I'll be back. Peace, love, and light.